The schedules are out. We know who Tennessee's going to play in conference play for the next 4 seasons and where. It's about to get really, really fun.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, good Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Vols, your number one spot for Tennessee football news and entertainment. I am your host, Cain. We got a little bonus content here again on a Tuesday. It's not really evening anymore. It's nighttime. We'll have a regular scheduled Wednesday show. I'm going to drop that at 6 a.m., but wanted to get this out here reacting to the schedule drop, right, on Tuesday night for the next 4 seasons in the Southeastern Conference. So we're just going to go over a little bit. It's going to be a shorter pod, about 15 minutes, just reacting to what was just announced. And first and foremost, I think this is going to be so much fun, right? This is going to be a blast. We already know the parameters, right? It's going to be you're going to be playing every team in the Southeastern Conference once every 2 years. If you stay 4 years throughout your college tenure, you'll be able to play at every single stadium in the Southeastern Conference. 3 permanent opponents. Tennessee's, of course, as Chris Lowe first reported, Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Kentucky. And those will be reevaluated in 4 years. But though nobody's saying it, I mean, in 4 years, they're probably going to expand. Because why on earth would you reevaluate these permanent opponents, right? After just 4 years, that's such a small sample size. So it's probably because they're going to explore expansion yet again. But that's kind of what we know right now. What they told us on Tuesday night was who Tennessee's going to play and where, not when, not the designations in terms of the dates, right? But they told us the year and where. And it was really, really confusing. I'll get to that here in just a moment. But quickly, we'll kind of first glance this right here. 2026 schedule. The home slate for next football season: Alabama, Auburn, Texas, LSU, Kentucky. Hey, you season ticket holders, how about that? Alabama, Auburn, Texas, LSU, Kentucky. That's awesome. That's awesome. Road tilts at Arkansas, at South Carolina, at Texas A&M, and at Vanderbilt. That is the 2026 schedule. Look at 2027. Home slate, 2026, I should say. 5 home games, 5 Power 4 home games, and technically 5 Power 4 away games because they're going to play on the road at Georgia Tech in 2026. But 4 away games in the SEC, 5 home games in 2026. Now, 2027, that flips. 4 home SEC tilts, 5 on the road in conference play. 2027, Vanderbilt's at home, Florida's at home, Ole Miss is at home, Mississippi State is at home. On the road in 2027, Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma. 2028 flips back to being 5 at home, 4 on the road in conference play. 2028, Arkansas's at home, South Carolina, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Kentucky. On the road in 2028 is Vanderbilt, Auburn, Texas, and LSU. And then in 2029, it flips back one more time, 4 home, 5 away in conference play. Vanderbilt, Georgia, Missouri, and Oklahoma at home. On the road, it's Alabama, it's Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Kentucky. And that is the next 4 years, schedule-wise, for Tennessee in conference play. First and foremost, let me just get this out here. The SEC had ample time to prepare for this, okay? First and foremost, the delivery was a train wreck. I mean, what are we doing here? They flash up their 2026 schedule, then 2027 schedule, okay? So on the left side, we got 2026. On the right side, we got 2027. And then at the bottom, it says, take the 2026 schedule and flip the home and away, and that's your 2028 schedule. And then they had another note that says, take the 2027 schedule, flip the home and away, and that's your 2029 schedule. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's rocket science, but why not just make 4 graphics very confusing? Also, the SEC Network screwed up 2 of Tennessee's graphics. So I'm sitting over here at the house. Poor me, right? Poor me. I'm the only one that has to work and raise a baby, right? Poor me. Let me just throw a little pity party on myself, okay? Poor me. I'm the only one in the world going through this. I know, right? All right. I got a screaming baby over here. I'm trying to make these graphics for the schedule release, and the SEC screws it up. And so I spent like an hour trying to fix my own graphics, and I get so confused because the SEC just fumbled the delivery in every way possibly imagined, right? They screwed up a couple of the graphics for Tennessee. It was wrong. Thankfully, Bill Martin and the Tennessee Sports Information staff got it right, and of course they had their graphics up, and so I was just kind of went on that. But nonetheless, I thought the delivery of this was just really confusing, and it was not very good television, to be completely honest with you. But that's beside the point. I like this. I think this is cool. It's going to be an absolute gauntlet, right? It's going to be an absolute gauntlet. I mean, it's like, obviously the SEC's tough. Adding another game was going to get tougher. But man, you look at some of these stretches here, like that home slate next year in 2026, again, Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Texas, and Kentucky's in there. I mean, that is quite the home slate. Again, season ticket holders, I mean, I'm speechless. That is an amazing home slate. That is incredible business right there. But like, look at the road slate in some of these years, right? 2027 road slate, Alabama, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma. Difficult, right? Road slate in 2028 of Auburn, LSU, Texas. Auburn's tough to play. LSU's tough to play. Tennessee's first time playing at Texas as a member of the Southeastern Conference. That'll come in 2028. And then in 2029, pretty good road slate again with Alabama, Florida. That's just a normal year in this conference. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. So fun times. That's what it looks like right now. And really, really getting excited about this new era of SEC football. Remember, in 2026, Tennessee begins play with 3 weeks of non-conference play, hosting Furman on September the 5th, Kennesaw State on September the 19th, and traveling to Georgia Tech in week 2 on September the 12th. So that means Tennessee will be playing 9 SEC games in the next 10 weeks. There'll be a bye week in there. I'm not smart enough to know if Tennessee's going to have 1 bye week or 2 bye weeks for the next 4 years. I know next year is just going to be 1 bye week. I love the 2 bye week setup, man. From a content perspective, from a money perspective, again, this is football season. This is the time where people like me make our money, right? It's like you're hibernating, like you eat, then you go hibernate for the winter. It's like, okay, well, you work, make your money, and then you live off that money the rest of the year. This is that time. So that's another week of business for me, right? And plus, it just, to me, I know it doesn't necessarily extend football season, but it certainly feels like it extends football season. I don't think there's 2 bye weeks next year. I don't know how that's going to work over the next 4 years. But Tennessee next year is going to play 9 games and 9 SEC games in the span of 10 weeks, counting that bye week. So going to be interesting there. When we come back, we'll continue to look at these schedules. We'll go over them one more time. I'll flash the graphics up there on the screen, and I'm going to tell you by what year I will have accomplished going to every single SEC stadium, because obviously that's why you tuned in to listen to this podcast today, to find out when I'm going to complete my tour around the Southeastern Conference. That's coming up next right here. A little bonus content on a Tuesday. Locked On Vols. Stay tuned. This episode is brought to you in part by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. There are certain businesses where, in the neighborhood that truly make it feel like a home. Whether it's local sports bar packed with on game days, a coffee shop that knows your order by heart, a corner deli that's been serving the community for decades. These places are what bring people together. With neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. I love that. You look here in the Knoxville area, some of the businesses that run on Square. Dos Bros, Tennessee baseball, big fans of that, right? The French Market downtown, Underdog Collectibles. You've got games and things, and so much more. Square supports local businesses, and you can appreciate that for sure. Square is a proud sponsor, a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot today. You'll be happy you did. Square, where we'll see you in the neighborhood. So big shout out to Square, and a big shout out to our friends over at Gametime. Man, college football is back, and I couldn't be more excited. The tailgates, the rivalries, the energy in the stands, there's just nothing like it. But let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel like more of a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's why I use Gametime. It's an app that gives the advantage right back to the fans. The easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices with no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay for. The app made it super simple for me. I could even see my exact view from the seat that I'm going to purchase before I actually purchase it. I pulled up the Gametime app in just a couple of tabs. I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football game, sometimes as low as $25. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, less stressful than any other way that I bought tickets before in my life. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, put in the redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go, download Gametime today. So as always, a big shout out to Gametime and big shout out to Mazda, where they craft cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers with every ride with more IIHS Top Safety Pick awards than anyone else as of August of this year. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details. Mazda brings the same intention to how they craft every model. You can feel Japanese craftsmanship in every detail, from metallic accents to available Napa leather upholstery. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but, from smooth handling to intuitive controls. With all-wheel drive standard and every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, Mazda sweats every detail, because when you make every move count, the impossible, well, it becomes irrelevant. Mazda, where you can move and you can be moved. All right, guys, welcome back. We are continuing to react to the schedule dropping of the SEC schools from 2026 to 2029. Again, it was Chris Lowe that reported the three annual rivals, the three annual opponents for each of the SEC schools. And we talked about that on the show. It's Alabama, it's Vanderbilt, and Kentucky for Tennessee. On Tuesday night, the SEC dropped the next 4 league schedules from 26 all the way to 29. Very, very confusing in doing it, right? But it's out there now, and kind of reacting to what Tennessee's draw was. Again, I want to put up this 2026 schedule one more time. This is the league schedule. Those home games against Alabama, Auburn, Texas, LSU, Kentucky. Whew, what a slate. Away games, Arkansas, South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. Tennessee's going to host LSU at Neyland Stadium for just the second time in 10 years. The second time in 10 years. Texas and Tennessee are going to meet in the regular season for the first time ever. This is in 2026. All 3 previous meetings between Tennessee and Texas was in the Cotton Bowls. 1951, that was a good year. 1953, that was a good year. And 1969. Tennessee is going to host the Longhorns in 2026 and will be playing in Austin on the road for the first time since Texas joined the league in 2028, again in Austin. Tennessee's going to play Texas A&M in College Station for just the second time and the first since 2016. Where were you in 2016? I remember where I was. I was still at Carson Newman, and I remember I was just starting to break into this industry, and I was doing some freelance work. I was doing some TV work. I was calling some games, and I remember we did a pregame show. And part of that pregame show was to highlight the games that were coming up the next day in college football. And I remember highlighting Tennessee and Texas A&M and talking about that game. At that time, Tennessee was 5-0. I think A&M was 6-0. It was set to be a really, really good game, and it was a good game. Tennessee could have won that game by 20 points if they didn't turn it over 6 times. But that was the first time Tennessee ever played at A&M, and now this is set to be only the second time Tennessee is going to be on the road. And again, that game is coming up in 2026 next season when Tennessee goes to College Station to take on Texas A&M. UT will make familiar treks to Vanderbilt in South Carolina and face off Arkansas and Fayetteville for just the second time in 3 years. Yeah, I saw that too. It's like Tennessee's seen Arkansas a lot the last couple of years. Well, why not mix some things up? But again, you're going to see every team every other year if it's not one of your permanent 3. So, yeah, I'm excited about all this. So let's look at the schedule. And again, this is... You tuned in to find out right now. Let's find out when I can complete my trek around the SEC. So away teams in 2026, been to Arkansas, been to South Carolina, been to Vanderbilt, have not been to A&M. So I'll be able to check off one in 2026. In 2027, I've been to Alabama, I've been to Georgia, I've been to Kentucky, I've been to Missouri, I've been to Oklahoma. So I can't check anything off 2027. 2028, I will have not gone, but I will visit Auburn for the first time. I've been to LSU. I've not been to Texas. I've been to Vanderbilt. So 2028, hey, big year for Cain, right? Get to check off 2 stadiums, Auburn and Texas. That'll be fun. And then in 2029, I've been to Alabama, been to Florida, been to Kentucky. I will have been to Mississippi State because I'm going this weekend. I will not have been to Ole Miss. So it's going to take the entire 4-year run here for me specifically just to get to every SEC schedule. But again, that's as a member of the media and that follows the team around and covers the game. I love this setup because I love traveling and seeing other fan bases, seeing other environments. I think it's really, really cool. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from doing it this way. I think it's really, really cool. And so I'm pumped. What do you guys think about Tennessee's draw for 26, 27, 28, and 29? I think the biggest takeaway here is the 2026 home slate is phenomenal. Again, one more time for like the 17th time in this abbreviated show. Alabama, Auburn, Texas, LSU, Kentucky. I think the 2026 home slate, it's why you pay that money. Because that home slate should be phenomenal. And we can talk about you want a tough stretch here, tough stretch there, and all that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, look at this year right now. Like, there's so much parity in the league right now. It's awesome. What are some of these teams going to look like in 2028? What are some of these teams going to look like in 2029? We don't know. We don't know right now. But top to bottom, this league is fantastic. Top to bottom, this league is good. And I am so jacked up, pumped up, ready to roll for this new phase of the SEC. We'll come back tomorrow, 6 a.m. I'll drop another episode. Josh Ward's going to join me for about 20 minutes. We're going to talk not about the schedule because we already recorded. We do talk about the 3 permanent opponents. We'll talk about Mississippi State. We'll talk about Bruce Pearl. We'll talk about a number of different topics with Josh Ward on Ward Wednesday, and I answer some of your mailbag questions. That's coming up tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Appreciate you guys and gals for being here. Thanks so much for a little bonus content here on a Tuesday. Tennessee, the SEC slate is out for 2026 through 2029. Let me know what you guys think at _Cainer and at Locked On Vols.